A few years later, YN and Hyunjin decided to tie the knot after taking over their family business. But as the wedding drew closer, the tighter the net of Hyunjin's love became, ensnaring YN in a web of possessiveness that was both terrifying and strangely comforting. The night felt peaceful, but as for YN, no. She is on the phone looking stressed. Yin's is now in her apartment near to her office. "Ella, can we meet? I just need to talk to somebody," YN said, massaging her head. "Why? What happened? Is everything all right?" Ella asked, worried about her friend. "Yes, but no. Yes, everything is fine, but no, I'm not okay. There's so many things on my mind," Yen explained. "Okay, where are we gonna meet?" Ella asked. "On S restaurant," YN replied. "Okay, I'll be there now," Ella said. The call ended. YN sighed, feeling really stressed. Then, she stands up from her sit and grabs her bag and coat. After a few hours later, YN arrived at the restaurant, and she quickly see Ella there, waving at her, smiling, happy to see her friend after a month. She seated in front of her, then she slumped herself down, feeling exhausted. "YN, you looked stressed. Is everything okay?" Ella asked worriedly, looking at her friend. "Yeah, just work piling up because I take over," YN said as she sits straight, massaging her forehead. "So, what do you want to talk about?" Ella asked curiously. YN take a deep breath before answering. "It's about Hyunjin," she said. "What about him?" Ella asked, confused. "You know that Hyunjin has been really possessive, even when we were in college, right?" YN asked, and Ella nodded as a response. "But lately it become extreme. I know he just loved me deeply, but sometimes I feel suffocated, yet sometimes he's so gentle. I don't know." YN expressed her thoughts to Ella. "What happened exactly?" Ella asked, concerned. Flashback. She wanted to treat her employees to lunch, so they were at a restaurant when Hyunjin called. "Princess, where are you? I went to your company, but there was no one there. The guard said everyone leave early," Hyunjin said, confused. "Oh, babe, yes, I'm not there. I decided to treat the employees to lunch for their handwork and appreciation for their warm welcome to me," YN said on the phone, smiling. "Is that so? Then where are you?" Hyunjin asked again. "In B restaurant," YN answered. "Okay, I'll come. I'd like to have lunch with you too," Hyunjin said. "Okay, babe, I'll wait," YN said affectionately. Hyunjin's hang up, then went to his car and drive to the said restaurant. A few minutes later, the restaurant doorbell, indicating a customer entered. YN looked at the door, and she see her fiancé, Hyunjin. "Babe, here," Hyun said, waving her hand, smiling. Hyunjin walked towards their table and sits beside YN. Then he possessively wrapped his hands to In's waist, grabbing her closer to him, as there's a man sitting next to YN too, her secretary. Hyunjin eat with them, but as time passed by, Hyunjin intensely focused on YN, who started to talk to her male secretary, discussing things about work, that YN almost forgot that Hyunjin is there. "Just a colleague, just a friend," he said to himself, barely whisper, trying to calm himself down, trying not to grab YN harshly away from the man. YN's apartment. Right now, YN and Hyunjin is in In's apartment. Hyunjin is helping her pack for a girls' weekend. He meticulously checks her bag. "Let me handle that," Hyunjin said quietly. He takes the suitcase, his fingers tracing the zipper. He opens it, meticulously examining the contents. "This is inappropriate for a girls' weekend," Hyunjin said, holding up a short skirt. "It's a skirt, Hyunjin. I'm going to the beach," YN said sharply. "And this revealing top? Are you sure you need this much exposure?" Hyunjin said, ignoring her dot. He carefully folds the clothes, his touch lingering. He checks the toiletries bag. his gaze lingering on the lipstick. "It's a girls' weekend, not a prison sentence. I'm going to have fun," YN said, frustrated. "Fun doesn't have to mean attracting unwanted attention. I just want to make sure you're safe," Hyunjin said, his voice low and dangerous. Hyunjin finishes packing, his possessive gaze never leaving YN. He zips the bag, the sound sharp in the silence. The unspoken tension hangs heavy in the air. "Did you remember your emergency contact information? And your pepper spray? I packed extra snacks, just in case." Hyunjin asked. "Yes, you pinned it on my contact list, but don't expect me to call you every 5 minutes," YN said defiantly. Hyunjin's expression doesn't change. He simply nods, his eyes still holding that possessive intensity. YN office meeting room. YN stands before a boardroom table, delivering a crucial presentation. Slides project onto a large screen behind her. She's poised, confident, but a subtle tension underlies her demeanor. Her phone vibrates insistently on the table. And as you can see from the projected growth, this new strategy will significantly increase market share by Q4. YN said, continuing her presentation, voice unwavering. Her phone vibrates again, more forcefully. She glances at it, a flicker of annoyance crossing her face. It's Hyunjin. The caller ID reads, "My love." She silences her phone. "Therefore, I propose we move forward with immediate implementation," Yen said to the board, regaining her composure. The presentation continues, but In's focus is subtly off. Her phone vibrates again, a persistent buzzing that seems to echo in the otherwise silent room. She ignores it, but her hand instinctively reaches for it several times. After the presentation, the board members begin asking questions. YN answers expertly, but her mind keeps drifting to the unanswered calls. "Excellent presentation, YN. Very impressive," one of the board members said. "Thank you," YN said, smiling politely. "We'll need to discuss the finer points later, but this looks promising," the other board member said. "Of course," YN said, nodding. As soon as the meeting ends, YN grabs her phone, the silent buzzing a constant reminder. She sees a string of missed calls and several frantic texts from Hyunjin. Text message, Hyunjin. "Princess, where are you? I've been calling for ages. Everything okay? I'm worried." Text message, Hyunjin. "Please call me back. I need to hear your voice." YN sighs, a mixture of frustration and affection in her eyes. She calls Hyunjin back. "Hyunjin, I'm fine. I was in a meeting. It was crucial." She's in the phone, her voice softer now. "I know, but I worry when I can't reach you. I miss you." Hyunjin said, his voice slightly strained. "I know, babe. I'll call you later. I promise." YN said, smiling slightly. "Okay, but call me the second you're free," Hyunjin said reluctantly. "I will. I love you," YN said, chuckling softly. "I love you more," Hyunjin said warmly. She hangs up, a small smile playing on her lips, but a hint of weariness in her eyes. The love is undeniable, but the possessiveness is a constant, subtle pressure. "That's what happened," YN said, after explaining what happened to Ella. "Have you talked about this? Or did you try?" Ella asked seriously. "Yes, I tried, but every time I bring up the topic, someone else will always interrupt our conversation. Or not. Otherwise, we are both busy. When he has free time, I am busy. When I have free time, he is busy," YN said, frustrated. "This is not healthy anymore, YN," Ella said. "I know, and it's not like he's openly controlling or abusive. He's just always there, always checking in, always making sure I'm safe. But it's not safe. It feels like I'm being smothered. YN said as tears welling up. Ella stands up from her seat and sits beside YN, reaching out to comfort her friend. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay to admit that something isn't right. This isn't love, YN. This is control disguised as affection. But he says he loves me. He's afraid of losing me. He says he can't help it, that he worries about me. YN said, wiping her eyes. Love doesn't control. Love supports. Love trusts. Love gives you space to breathe. His actions don't align with his words, Ella said firmly. Then she continues. Have you considered couple counseling? She asked. I haven't. I'm scared he'll see it as a sign of weakness on my part. YN sniffed. It's not weakness, YN. It's strength. It shows you're willing to work on the relationship, but you also need to protect yourself. Ella said seriously. What if he doesn't change? What if this is just who he is? YN said, doubting. You'll figure this out. Let's start with that counseling appointment. I'll help you find someone, Ella said, comforting her friend. Hyunjin's apartment. Soft lamping illuminates a cozy living room. YN and Hyunjin sit on the sofa, a comfortable distance apart. Silence hangs heavy between them, punctuated only by the ticking of a clock. Hyunjin, we need to talk, YN said quietly. I know. Hyunjin nods slowly, his gaze fixed on his hands. About everything. About how you've been acting lately, YN said. Hyunjin looks up, his eyes filled with a mixture of fear and desperation. YN, I love you so much, more than anything in the world. I know you do, Hyunjin, but that doesn't excuse everything. The constant calling, texting where, who I am with. The accusations about my secretary and me. YN said seriously. I'm scared, YN. Terribly scared. Losing you is my biggest fear. My love for you is all I have. Hyunjin said, voice trembling. I understand you're scared. But this isn't love, Hyunjin. This is control. This is suffocating me. YN said, softened slightly. It's not control, YN. It's protectiveness. I just want to keep you safe, keep you close. Hyunjin shakes his head. But you're not keeping me safe, Hyunjin. You're trapping me. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells, constantly worried about saying or doing something that will upset you. YN said, expressing what's bothering her. I know, I've been trying to change. I really have. But it's hard. I can't help it. It's just how I feel. Hyunjin looks down, defeated. YN takes a deep breath. Then we need help, Hyunjin. We need to talk to someone. A therapist, a counselor, someone who can help us understand this and work through it. I don't know. I'm afraid of what they'll say, Hyunjin said as he hesitates. YN reaches out and gently takes his hands. I'm afraid too, Hyunjin, but I'm more afraid of losing us. Of losing you, yes, but also of losing myself. Of losing the happy, carefree YN that you fell in love with. I don't want to lose you, YN. I truly don't, Hyunjin said as he squeezes her hand. Then let's face this together. Let's get the help we need, for us, for our future. Hyunjin looks into In's eyes, a glimmer of hope in his gaze. Okay, YN. Okay, let's do it. They sit in silence for a moment, holding hands, the tension in the air slowly beginning to dissipate, replaced by a fragile sense of a hope. Ella makes an appointment for YN and Hyunjin with Dr. Amara, 40s, a warm, perceptive therapist. So, Hyunjin, you mentioned feeling possessive towards YN. Can you tell me more about that? Can you give me some examples? Dr. Amara said, It's complicated. My parents, they built a business from nothing. For the first 10 years of my life, they were always working, absent. Then, boom, success. Suddenly, they showered me with everything, spoiled me rotten. But that early distance, it left a mark. I learned that love isn't always reliable. It's conditional, a reward for success, not a constant. Hyunjin said, holding his hands tightly while YN is beside him. And you kept this feeling a secret, even from your parents? Dr. Amara asked. Yeah, it felt like a weakness, a vulnerability I couldn't afford to show. I didn't want them to see how much that absence hurt, Hyunjin said honestly. And how does this relate to your relationship with Yin? The doctor asked again. I met YN when I was a kid, then when her debut party. Before that, I didn't know what love was. But seeing her, in the party, it was different. It felt real, unconditional maybe, the opposite of what I experienced growing up, he answered. And now she's your fiancé. But this fear of losing that unconditional love, it manifests as possessiveness? Can you give me some examples of this possessiveness? When we still in college, I check her phone. Not all the time, but sometimes. If she's late or not answering my calls, I bombard her with texts. I get jealous easily. If she talks to a male colleague, I get anxious. I even try to subtly control who she spends time with. I know it's wrong, it's suffocating her, but I can't help it. It's like a reflex. I'm terrified of losing her. The thought of her being with someone else, it's unbearable. It triggers that old feeling of abandonment. Hyunjin replied without hesitation. So, it's not just a general feeling of possessiveness, but specific behaviors stemming from a deep-seated fear of abandonment. This fear is rooted in your childhood experiences. We can work through this. We can explore these feelings, understand their roots, and find healthier ways to cope with them, to build a relationship based on trust and security, not fear, Dr. Amara said softly. I hope so. I really do. We'll take it one step at a time. Let's start by talking about these specific instances. Let's talk about the last time you checked her phone. What triggered it? What were you feeling? Hyunjin hesitates, then begins to recount a specific incident, his voice low and filled with a mixture of love and apprehension. The session continues, focusing on unpacking Hyunjin's past trauma and developing coping mechanisms for his anxieties. A week after the counseling, sunlight glints off the ocean. YN, radiant and relaxed, walks hand in hand with Hyunjin. The tension that once hung between them is gone, replaced by a comfortable ease. They stroll along the shoreline, the waves a gentle rhythm to their conversation. Remember how stressed you were a few weeks ago, before we talked to Dr. Amara? YN asked. Hyunjin smiled faintly. Yeah, I was a mess. I didn't even realize how much my past was affecting things, how my possessiveness wasn't about you, but about my own insecurities. I know, and it wasn't easy for me either, but talking it through, it helped so much. Understanding where it came from, it made all the difference. YN said, smiling. They stop watching children build sandcastles. I never told anyone about those first 10 years, about how distant my parents were, how much it hurt. It felt like a shameful secret, like admitting weakness. Hyunjin said, almost like whisper. But it's not a weakness, Hyunjin. It's your story. And it explains so much. It explains why you were so afraid of losing me, why you felt the need to control things, YN said. I still have moments where I feel that fear creep in, but now I know how to deal with it. I can talk to you about it. I don't have to bottle it up. Hyunjin said, feel at ease. Exactly. And I'm here for you, always. We're a team. YN smiled affectionately to him. Hyunjin squeezes her hand, his eyes filled with genuine affection. I know. And that's the biggest difference. Before, I felt like I was clinging to you out of fear. Now, it's different. It's about love, not fear. It's about trust, Hyunjin said, looking at her with his sincere eyes. I feel it too. A real connection, a real trust. It's like a weight has been lifted. They walk on, the sound of the waves a soothing backdrop to their conversation. They discuss their future, their plans, their dreams, their voices filled with a newfound lightness and hope. The beach, once a symbol of their unspoken anxieties, now represents their shared journey towards healing and a stronger, more secure relationship. The sun sets, painting the sky in vibrant hues, mirroring the warmth and understanding that now blossoms between them. A month later, Sunlight streams through stained glass windows, illuminating the beautiful church. Yen, breathtaking in her wedding gown, stands at the altar. Her eyes, bright and sparkling with unshaded tears, hold a radiant joy that reflects the depth of her love. A small, almost imperceptible smile plays on her lips, a testament to the peace and contentment she feels. Her expression is one of pure, unadulterated happiness, a serene calm amidst the emotional intensity of the moment. Hyunjin, handsome and composed, stands opposite her. His eyes, usually haunted by a shadow of insecurity, are now filled with a deep, unwavering love that shines through with an almost startling intensity. While a hint of the past's anxieties might linger at the edges of his expression, his gaze is fixed on Yen, reflecting a newfound sense of security and unwavering devotion. His lips are slightly curved in a tender smile, a subtle expression that speaks volumes of the love and commitment he feels. In the front row, Hyunjin and In's parents sit, their faces a mixture of pride and emotion. Their mother's eyes are openly weeping, tears streaming down their cheeks, a mixture of joy and relief evident in their expressions. Their lips tremble slightly as they fight back a sob, their face a portrait of maternal love and overwhelming pride in their daughter and son's happiness. Their fathers, though stoic, shows emotion through the slight tremor in their jaw and the glistening moisture in their eyes. They subtly wipes their eyes with a handkerchief, a gesture that speaks of their deep affection for their daughter and son, and Hyunjin's father, acceptance of the love that has healed his son's past wounds. The officiant speaks, his voice clear and resonant. Hyunjin, do you take Yen to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, for better or for worse, until death do you part? The officiant asked. I do, Hyunjin said, his voice firm, filled with emotion. Nasien, do you take Hyunjin to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, for better or for worse, until death do you part? The officiant asked again. I do, Yen said, her voice trembling slightly with emotion. The officiant smiles. Now, you may exchange your vows. Yen speaks first, her voice soft yet powerful. Her vows are heartfelt and sincere, a testament to her love and commitment. Hyunjin, my love, my life. You've shown me the strength of vulnerability, the beauty of trust. You've taught me that love isn't just a feeling, but a choice, a commitment, a constant effort. I promise to love you unconditionally, to support you always, to be your partner, your friend, your home. Hyunjin's turn. He looks at Yen, his gaze intense, his love palpable. He speaks, his voice steady, his words carefully chosen. Yen, my love for you is a fortress, Yen, built to protect us from the world. But it's also a home, a place where we can both be free, a place where the insecurities of my past cannot reach us again, a place where we can build a future together, strong and secure, based on trust, understanding, and unwavering love. I promise to always be there for you, to support your dreams, to cherish every moment we share. I promise to communicate openly, to confront my fears, and to always choose love over fear. I promise to be your husband, your best friend, your constant companion for all the days of our lives. He pauses, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. He glances at his parents, who are now openly weeping, their faces etched with relief and overwhelming pride. I love you, Yen, more than words can say. In's eyes are filled with tears of joy. She reaches out and takes his hand, their fingers intertwining. The officiant smiles, a silent witness to their profound love and commitment. The guests applaud, their hearts touched by the sincerity of their vows. The exchange of rings follows, a symbol of their eternal bond. The ceremony concludes, and as they walk down the aisle, hand in hand, they are surrounded by the warmth of love, family, and friends, a testament to their journey from fear to unwavering love and security. After the wedding, YN and Hyunjin went straight to their hotel room. The room is softly lit, a romantic ambiance created by scattered rose petals, flickering candlelight, and the gentle glow of the city lights visible through the large window. YN, radiant in her negligee, sits on the edge of the bed, her eyes filled with a mixture of exhaustion and happiness. Her hair is loose, cascading around her shoulders, framing a face that radiates contentment. Hyunjin, his tie loosened, his shirt unbuttoned, approaches her. He kneels before her, his gaze filled with adoration. He gently takes her hand, his touch tender and reverent. "You're breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking, more beautiful than I ever imagined," Hyunjin said affectionately. "And you, my love, are even more handsome than I remember. More relaxed, too. All that tension, gone," YN said, smiling softly. Today felt different, like a weight lifted, like all the anxieties, all the fears, they finally faded away. It's like I'm finally free from that shadow that haunted me for so long. "And you are, my love, free to love, free to be loved. It's been a journey, hasn't it? A journey of understanding, of healing, of trust. And we've reached our destination together. I'm so proud of you, Hyunjin. So incredibly proud," YN said proudly to her husband. Hyunjin gently pulls her close, their bodies meeting in a tender embrace. His arms wrap around her, holding her close, the warmth of his body a comforting presence against hers. He rests his chin on her head, inhaling the delicate scent of her perfume. "Thank you, YN, for everything, for your patience, your understanding, your unwavering love, for helping me overcome my fears, for showing me that love can conquer all. I never thought I could feel this safe, this secure," Hyunjin said sincerely. "And thank you, Hyunjin, for trusting me enough to share your vulnerabilities, for allowing me to be a part of your healing, for showing me the strength it took to overcome your past, for showing me the depth of your love, for being so brave." Ba-en said softly, "It wasn't bravery, it was you. You gave me the courage to be vulnerable, to finally let go of the fear," Hyunjin said, as he caressed the cheeks of YN. "And I'll always be here, to catch you if you fall, to help you stand tall, to love you, always," YN said sincerely. Their embrace deepens, their love transcending words. The scene shifts, focusing on the tender intimacy of their first night together as husband and wife. Their lovemaking is slow, deliberate, and deeply connected, a testament to the journey they have shared and the secure future they are building together. It's not just physical intimacy, it's an emotional connection, a profound sharing of vulnerability and trust, a celebration of their love. Their bodies intertwine, their souls merge, their love a beacon of hope and security. Afterward, they lie entwined, their bodies still warm from their passion, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the city lights. "I never thought I'd feel this safe, this secure, this loved," Hyunjin said, as he hugs In's body gently. "Me neither. And it's all because we faced our fears together, because we chose love over fear," YN said, hugging Hyunjin's waist. "I love you, YN, more than words can say." "I love you too, Hyunjin, always and forever." They fall asleep in each other's arms, their love a silent promise of a future filled with happiness, security, and unwavering commitment.